Hello and welcome. Welcome back to another one of my versus face-off videos. This will be a face-off between the legendary Spyderco Tenacious and quite popular Ontario Rat 1. Okay. This is a bit of a fingerprint magnet. Okay, so, and this is a Spyderco Tenacious. Okay then, here we go. Get straight in there. Now, the handle scales on the Tenacious have this quite grippy G10. I'd say medium grippy. Just check out a review. Many people will talk about the handle scales. Now, on the Ontario Rat 1, however, I think it's kind of like Zytel, kind of like an FRN, but the texturing, it's more grippy kind of vertically, if you see what I mean, rather than horizontally. That's what they've gone for. For me, that just feels really quite smooth and wouldn't offer me a lot of grip. However, the shape of it more than makes up for it. Okay, because your finger just rides in that choil area, kind of locks it in, along with some of the jimping. Okay, enough about the scales. Talk about the deployment. Now on the Tenacious, you have the Spidey hole. Okay, very fast, very easy. Like, if you close your eyes, put your thumb there, you can deploy it, done. Okay. With the Rat 1, however, I'd say it's more difficult. Yeah, this is personal preference, and this is probably about you know, how the practice you have with a knife and where the bite point is and things. But I'd say it's a bit trickier. It is ambidextrous thumb studs, but I'd say it's a little bit trickier to deploy it. That's just my opinion. Okay, some people might find it easier to use thumb studs. Okay, I just prefer a hole, probably because I'm used to it. But there we go. Okay, so that's the deployment. The lockup. I mean, you can do a gravity shakeout with both of them. I've tried it. But the lockup, they both have liner locks. Okay, so blade makes the liner pop into place. Okay, once it gets past a certain point. Okay, and it's the same story for the Ontario Rat 1. They're both lockups are just on time, nothing wrong with those. Okay, and they're both very solid. Some people might say that the liner's quite thin on the Rat 1. Nah, it's fine. It does the job. Okay. Now, talking about liners and the lockups and things, on the Tenacious, if you don't already know, you do have skeletonized liners in there. You can see that they're drilled out. On the Ontario Rat 1, you don't. They're solid. So, unfortunately, the weight of these, and that reflects the weight quite heavily actually. They've put really lightweight FRN scales, but then they've kind of doubled or tripled the weight because the liners are solid. I don't get it, but there we go, and that's the difference in the liners in there. Okay, pocket clip, you're in luck. 4-way pocket clip. You can put this any which way, upside down, wherever, and whatever suits your style. Okay, the pocket clips are both very decent. They both have the 3 torques, and they cover good surface area. Again, with the handle being slightly slippery, probably easy to get out of your pocket. Don't know if that's a good thing, but I thought I'd mention that. The jimping on the Spyderco Tenacious, you've got jimping on the thumb ramp and on the liner. Very generous, and it works. It's efficient. Okay, and with the Ontario Rat 1, you have some very spaced out jimping here. Okay, not very fine. Your thumb could slip a little bit, and you've got some very conservative jimping on the liner. which you can't feel really. You just can't feel it that much on the Ontario Rat 1. Okay, so the fit and finish, you're talking about China, and you're talking about Taiwan. Nothing wrong with Taiwan. Taiwan isn't China, but I'm not going to get involved in politics of where things are made. What you need to understand is they're both very well made. Didn't have any problems with these, and I think both factories should be proud, really. They've made good products, which is a good job. Okay, so the steel then, okay, because steel can be a big factor. Okay, the steel used on the Spyderco Tenacious is the 8CR13 MOV. It's good steel, not that bad. You might need to sharpen it now and again, but you can get a nice sharp edge on it. However, my experience with this OS 8 steel is slightly better, okay, only because you can get it that slightly bit sharper, and overall I do prefer OS 8. It's not OS 6 or OS 7, it's OS 8, so it's quite a decent blade steel, that I'd say. Yeah, it's still soft in terms of hardness and things, so you will need to sharpen it. Probably about the same as this one, but you can get a slightly better edge on it. Okay, I hope that helps. Ergonomics, yeah, the Spyderco Tenacious, it is comfortable, and you only have the right amount of handle for your hand, really, so that's a good job. However, just my personal preference, I do prefer the ergonomics for the Rat 1 because of this large area here and where your finger sits, and it is contoured. The Tenacious is as well, I'm not taking anything away from that, but I just do prefer that. I just prefer it in my hand. But like I say, go to a knife shop, find out for yourself, because you're the one that's going to be holding the knife, you're the one that's going to be using it for a long time, so if you're making this kind of purchase, it's probably worth you you know, feeling the knives anyway. Okay, so that's that. Now another issue I have is weight. The Tenacious is about 118, something like that, grams. The Ontario Rat 1 is nearly 150 grams. Okay, so in perspective, it is about 25 grams heavier than the Spyderco Tenacious. So if you're thinking about carrying this for a long amount of time, or you putting it in your joggy bottoms, yeah, good luck. It's fairly heavy. Just to put it in perspective, it's actually 19 more grams heavier than the Spyderco Military. Yeah, so it's heavier than the Military. I mean, yes, the Military is an awful lot more expensive, but that just puts it in perspective that it's heavier than that knife. Okay, the kind of blade shape is again personal preference. You do have a wider blade on the Tenacious. It's and the cutting edge actually goes right to the handle scale, whereas the Ontario Rat 1 stops there. Again, I do apologise for the fingerprints, but there we go. Okay, so it has a thinner profile, definitely, the Ontario, and it is, but all in all, I think they have about the right cutting edge, roughly. I mean, real estate wise, they're very similar in the amount of edge that you get, just more belly on the Tenacious, and so it's really personal preference which one you like the look of more. Now on both of them, you can get them in the various kind of tactical black options. So you do have the black one there, and you do have the black one there for the Tenacious and the Rat 1. Okay, so I mean, they are slightly more expensive, but and I'd actually prefer the black Tenacious, just because the jimping still works, whereas it affects the Rat 1. Okay, but anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it's been a bit of a help. Do leave a comment, rate and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Take care.